Guys, I have gist for you. I was at the Hilda Baci Jollof Festival powered by Gino, and let me tell you, it was something else. From the moment I got there, I could already smell that aroma of fresh jollof cooking in the largest pot I have ever seen in my life. Today, I'm going to give you the full experience, the cues, the food, the music, the competitions, the people I met, and even the weather. So let's dive in. Before going out on the journey, I had to first of all pick out what I was going to wear. You all know that this is rainy season, so the weather can be pretty unpredictable. I wanted to keep my color combination safe, so I just decided to stick to black and gray and a splash of green and red. So my trainers, so that I know that I'm going to be walking around a lot, my socks just in case it gets cold, my black shirt, and my gray leggings. So I felt like this was just the ideal thing to wear because I wasn't really sure what to put on. Then my glasses for the sun, my power bank, you know how it is now, just in case. And then because my skin burns so easily, I had to take my sunscreen and of course a bottle of water to take along with me to hydrate because the weather is so hot. Then movement started to the venue. I was expecting that there would be a lot of traffic, funny enough, but it actually wasn't even as much as I thought it would be. So I set on the journey and it was kind of like really traffic free. I was expecting that I would meet like loads and loads of cars stuck on the traffic, but that was not the case at all. So it was a very beautiful and peaceful experience. I mean, the journey to the venue. So I stay on the mainland, and I'd say that within 45 minutes, I was already at the venue, and it was a bit tricky at first because the entry point, I'd already seen what was happening, the activity happening on the other side, but the entry point was a bit of a distance from where I stopped. Anyways, I made two new friends on my way to the location, trying to ask around, and see them behind me. Very nice girls. We were just chit-chatting on our way to the queue, and lo and behold, the first thing that hit me was the crowd. Ah, my goodness. Nigerians know they carry last when it comes to food and vibes. The queue was long. I mean, very long. People came out in their numbers, young, old, families, foodies, influencers. Everybody wanted a taste of that record-breaking jollof rice, just like I did. The line snaked around the venue like a concert, but honestly, it was all part of the fun. You could hear people joking, taking selfies, making TikToks while waiting. It just felt like a festival, to be very, very honest. And I must say, the organizers really tried. They really tried, because my first instinct was, in fact, when I was one of the reasons why I dressed the way I did, I was expecting that there would have been like a stampede. So initially, the old venue was supposed to be at Muri Okunola, but good enough, the organizers realized that if we had done the event at that place, most likely there would have been a 90% or 95% chance of a stampede. Anyways, Gino powered the entire event, and you could see their branding everywhere. Red and yellow banners, branded cooking aprons, even the giant pot had the logo. Security was tight but friendly, and volunteers were moving around trying to keep everything in order. The only thing was, with that kind of crowd, you can't expect perfect order anyway. But by the time I had to leave much later in the day, more people were still trooping in. Honestly, I can only imagine how packed it got later. So let's talk about the star of the day, the food. I don't know if you've ever smelled jollof rice cooking in such massive quantity before, but the aroma alone could make you full. The spices, the seasoning, the fried stew base, all of it just mixing in the air. At some point, people were literally standing close to the pot just to inhale the smell. And the pot, guys, that pot was like a swimming pool. The chefs were stirring it with paddles longer than my arm. It wasn't just cooking, it was a show, and a very excellent show at that. Now, what's a Nigerian event without music? The DJs were on fire and the live performance kept the energy high. Afrobeats and piano, high life, you name it. People were dancing in the queue, dancing while eating, some even dancing in front of the pot. But me, I will not try that kind of game. Then came the competitions, contests, trivia about Nigerian food, even quick cook-offs where small groups had to prepare mini dishes. Anyways, I didn't pay too much attention to that because I was moving around the other stalls where there were a lot of stuff there, salad, banana, cake, and all that. I mean, I just had to fill my eyes with all the interesting sights. The vibe was totally electric. This being my first time I've ever been to anything connected to Hilda. And it definitely was like a carnival. It's not even a place you can stand still. The energy would force you to move. But one thing I loved most was the people. You know how Nigerians are now. You can meet someone on the queue and end up vibing like you've known them forever. This was what happened to me on that day. I was just vibing with all manner of strangers and it was cool. Like really such a very interesting experience. I met a couple of new friends that day. We shared jokes, swapped social media handles, and even promised to link up for future foodie events. The sense of community was real, and everyone came for Jollof. Definitely, I would say that we left there with memories. Now, one thing I'll say about the weather, it was one of those Lagos days. Hot, like really hot, but breezy. The only part I'll say I wasn't happy with was that there were no chairs. So, like majority of us were standing. So I'd say I stood for like almost 7 hours. I mean, it was a lot. I was exhausted by the time I got home. But you know, when you're surrounded by that many people and that much firewood smoke, the heat is real. Funny enough, it looked like people didn't really care. You know, people had hand fans, chill drinks, branded Gino bottles, and the excitement covered up any sort of discomfort. So the sun just added to that festive atmosphere. And for a first timer like me, I would say that I truly and honestly had fun. Even if I couldn't stay till late in the night. I heard so many people stay till like 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Anyway, I knew I wouldn't be able to do that. But for the few hours I spent there, I had fun. So that was my experience at Hilda Baci's record-breaking jollof rice event. The queues were long, the food was massive, the music was loud, the people were fun, but overall it was an unforgettable day. I had to leave like around 5, 6, 7 p.m. But I'm also glad I went because really, to be very honest, it's not every day you get to be part of history. And it was something I didn't want anyone to tell me about. I wanted to be there myself, even if I didn't stay till very late like many people did. So, over to you now. Tell me in the comments, would you have joined the long line just to taste the world's biggest pot of jollof rice? Or would you have just come for the vibes and left? Have you ever been to any of Hilda's programs before? Or, you know, is this something you would look forward to being? Because I'm thinking that after this one, she most likely would want to have maybe a pot of fada rice, some other delicacy, just to keep the brand alive, if you understand what I mean. So would you have just come for the vibes and left? Anyway, I'd love to hear your opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned because I'll be going on more foodie adventures, and the gist will be coming your way live and direct. See you in the next one.